Are you ready to tackle the toughest networking challenges in the cloud? The AWS Certified Advanced Networking Specialty is one of the most prestigious and difficult certifications to earn. In this video, we will cover AWS Certified Advanced Networking Specialty Practice Exam ANS-C01, full mock test, with explanations. Master the AWS Certified Advanced Networking Specialty ANS-C01 exam with this comprehensive mock test. In this video, we go through 30 high-quality, exam-style practice questions that cover the core domains of the ANS-C01 exam, including network design, implementation, management, and security. Follow along and test your knowledge. If you can score 80% or higher, you're on the right track. A company requires a high bandwidth, low latency connection between their on-premises data center and AWS. They need to access multiple VPCs across different AWS regions using a single AWS Direct Connect connection. Which architecture meets these requirements with the least administrative overhead? Option A. Create a public virtual interface (VIF) and establish IPsec VPNs to each VPC. Option B. Use a Direct Connect gateway and associate it with a transit gateway in each region. Option C. Establish a private VIF for each VPC via the Direct Connect connection. Option D. Use VPC peering between all VPCs and connect the Direct Connect to a single hub VPC. The correct answer is B. A Direct Connect gateway, DXGW, allows a Direct Connect connection to access VPCs in any AWS region, except China. By associating the DXGW with a transit gateway, TGW, in each region, you can scale to thousands of VPCs. This transit VIF approach is the most scalable and efficient way to handle multi-region, multi-VPC connectivity over Direct Connect, reducing the overhead of managing individual private VIFs or complex VPN meshes. An application requires an AWS site-to-site VPN that supports a maximum throughput of 10 gigabits per second. Which configuration should the network engineer use? Option A. A single VPN connection to a virtual private gateway. Option B. An AWS Direct Connect connection with a public VIF. Option C. A transit gateway with multiple VPN connections using equal-cost multipath ECMP. Option D. Multiple virtual private gateways with VPC peering. The correct answer is C. A single AWS site-to-site VPN tunnel is capped at 1.25 gigabits per second. To achieve higher throughput like 10 gigabits per second, you must use a transit gateway and enable equal-cost multipath ECMP support by creating multiple VPN connections, tunnels, to the transit gateway. AWS can distribute traffic across them, effectively aggregating the bandwidth to meet the 10 gigabits per second requirement. A financial services firm needs to inspect all outbound traffic from their VPCs to the internet. The traffic must be inspected by a third-party firewall appliance cluster. Which architecture is recommended for high availability and scalability? Option A. Deploy firewalls in each subnet and change the default route. Option B. Use a transit gateway and route traffic through a centralized security VPC using Gateway Load Balancer (GWLB) endpoints. Option C. Configure a NAT gateway to forward all traffic to an EC2 proxy instance. Option D. Use VPC peering to a central VPC where firewalls are deployed in an auto-scaling group. The correct answer is B. The Gateway Load Balancer, GWLB, is designed specifically for deploying, scaling, and managing third-party virtual appliances. By using a centralized inspection security VPC connected via Transit Gateway, you can route all outbound traffic through GWLB endpoints. This ensures traffic is transparently inspected, maintains flow symmetry, and allows the firewall fleet to scale horizontally without manual routing changes. You are troubleshooting a connectivity issue between two VPCs connected via VPC peering. The instances in VPC-A cannot ping instances in VPC-B. Security groups and NACLs are wide open. What is the most likely cause? Option A. The MTU size is mismatching between the instances. Option B. VPC peering does not support ICMP traffic. Option C. The route tables in both VPCs have not been updated to point to the peering connection ID. Option D. The VPCs have overlapping CIDR blocks. The correct answer is C. Establishing a VPC peering connection only creates the link between VPCs. For traffic to flow, you must manually add routes to the route tables of both VPCs. Each route table in VPC-A must have a route for VPC-B's CIDR pointing to the PCX4X peering ID, and vice versa. Overlapping CIDRs would prevent the peering from being created in the first place. A company wants to implement a disaster recovery strategy for their Direct Connect connection. They require the shortest possible failover time for their mission-critical workloads. Which feature should be enabled? Option A. Bidirectional forwarding detection, BFD. Option B. BGP graceful restart. Option C. Route 53 health checks. Option D. As path prepending. The correct answer is A. Bidirectional forwarding detection, BFD, provides fast forwarding path failure detection. Without BFD, BGP rely on keep-alive timers which can take up to 90 seconds to time out. BFD can detect a link failure in sub-second intervals, allowing for much faster convergence and failover to a backup connection, like another Direct Connect or a VPN. Which AWS service can be used to protect a web application from common web exploits and also allows you to filter traffic based on geographic location? Option A. AWS Shield Advanced. Option B. AWS WAF. Option C. Amazon Inspector. Option D. AWS Network Firewall. The correct answer is B. AWS WAF. Web Application Firewall allows you to create rules to block common attacks such as SQL injection or cross-site scripting. It also includes a geo-match condition, allowing you to block or allow traffic based on the country of origin. While Shield Advanced protects against DDoS, WAF is the correct tool for application layer filtering and geo-blocking. A company has a Direct Connect connection with a private VIF. They need to access S3 buckets and DynamoDB tables over the Direct Connect. What is the best way to achieve this? Option A. Configure a public VIF on the Direct Connect connection. Option B. Use a gateway endpoint for S3 and DynamoDB. Option C. Use an interface VPC endpoint for S3 and DynamoDB. Option D. Set up a NAT gateway in the VPC. The correct answer is A. To access public AWS services like S3 and DynamoDB over Direct Connect. A public VIF is the standard method as it advertises AWS public IP ranges to your on-premises router. While interface endpoints, private link, can be accessed over a private VIF, gateway endpoints, like the standard S3, DynamoDB endpoints, are not reachable over Direct Connect private VIFs without a proxy or complex routing. Therefore, public VIF is the most direct solution for reaching public services. You need to capture information about the IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in your VPC to troubleshoot why some traffic is being dropped. Which feature should you use? Option A. CloudWatch metrics. Option B. VPC flow logs. Option C. AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D. Amazon Guard Duty. The correct answer is B. VPC flow logs capture metadata about the IP traffic. Source, destination, port, protocol, and action. Accept or reject. For network interfaces, this is the primary tool for troubleshooting connectivity issues and verifying if security group or NACL rules are blocking traffic. A multinational corporation uses a transit gateway to connect VPCs across different regions. They want to ensure that traffic between two specific regions never traverses the public internet. What should they use? Option A. Inter-region VPC peering. Option B. Transit gateway inter-region peering. Option C. Site-to-site VPN with accelerated VPN. Option D. Direct Connect public VIF. The correct answer is B. Transit gateway inter-region peering allows you to connect transit gateways across different AWS regions. This peering traffic stays entirely on the AWS global network backbone and never traverses the public internet, providing high security and consistent performance. How does AWS Network Firewall differ from security groups? Option A. Security groups are stateless, while Network Firewall is stateful. Option B. Network Firewall can perform deep packet inspection, DPI, and FQDN filtering, which security groups cannot. Option C. Network Firewall only operates at Layer 3. Option D. Security groups are applied at the subnet level, while Network Firewall is applied at the instance level. The correct answer is B. AWS Network Firewall is a managed service that provides advanced protections including deep packet inspection, DPI, intrusion prevention, IPS, and web filtering, FQDN. Security groups are stateful firewalls at the instance ENI level that only filter based on IP port protocol, but cannot inspect the content of the packets or filter by domain name. What is the maximum MTU supported for traffic over an AWS Direct Connect connection with a private VIF? Option A, 1500 bytes. Option B, 9001 bytes. Option C, 1492 bytes. Option D, 8500 bytes. The correct answer is B. AWS Direct Connect supports jumbo frames with an MTU of up to 9001 bytes for private and transit VIFs. However, the MTU must be supported and configured on the end-to-end path, on-premises router and the AWS resources. To be effective, Public VIFs are limited to 1500 bytes. A company wants to share their internal DNS zones in VPCA with VPCB and VPCC. They are using Route 53, private hosted zones. What is the most efficient way to achieve this? Option A. Create duplicate hosted zones in each VPC. Option B. Associate VPCB and VPCC with the private hosted zone in VPCA. Option C. Use Route 53, resolver endpoints and forwarding rules. Option D. Configure a VPC peering mesh and use the Amazon-provided DNS. The correct answer is B. Route 53, private hosted zones can be associated with multiple VPCs, even those belonging to different AWS accounts. This allows all associated VPCs to resolve the same internal DNS records without the need for additional infrastructure like resolvers or manual record synchronization. Which BGP attribute does AWS use to determine the preferred path for inbound traffic from your customer gateway to AWS when multiple Direct Connect paths exist? Option A. Local preference. Option B. Multi-exit discriminator. MED. Option C. As path prepending. Option D. Wait. The correct answer is B. For inbound traffic from AWS to your on-premises, AWS honors the multi-exit discriminator, MED. You can set different MED values on your advertised routes to indicate which path AWS should prefer. Lower MED is preferred, as path prepending is also used. But MED is often the primary mechanism for fine-grained control over multiple Direct Connect links. A user is trying to connect to a service via AWS private link but the connection is failing. The service provider has accepted the connection request. What is the most likely issue on the consumer side? Option A. The consumer's security group does not allow outbound traffic to the interface endpoint. Option B. The consumer's security group does not allow inbound traffic from the provider's CIDR. Option C. The VPC endpoint is in a different region than the consumer instance. Option D. The interface endpoint doesn't have a private DNS name enabled. The correct answer is A. When using an interface VPC endpoint, the consumer's instance must be able to reach the IP address of the endpoint. The security group attached to the interface endpoint must allow inbound traffic, typically on port 443 or the service port, from the consumer instance's IP or security group. Common mistakes include forgetting to allow this inbound traffic on the endpoint's SG. In a transit gateway environment, what is route propagation? Option A. Manually adding routes to the TGW route table. Option B. The process where a VPC or VPN connection automatically advertises its routes to the TGW route table. Option C. The synchronization of routes between two peered transit gateways. Option D. The process of updating instance route tables using BGP. The correct answer is B. Route propagation allows a transit gateway attachment to dynamically inject its routes into a TGW route table. For VPC attachments, the VPC CIDR is propagated. For VPN or Direct Connect attachments, the routes learned via BGP are propagated. This eliminates the need for manual static route management within the transit gateway itself. You need to connect an on-premises network to AWS with 100 megabits per second bandwidth but do not want to use the public internet. What is the best option? Option A. AWS Site-to-Site VPN. Option B. AWS Direct Connect. Option C. AWS Client VPN. Option D. SD-WAN via AWS Marketplace. The correct answer is B. AWS Direct Connect provides a dedicated physical connection that does not use the public internet. It is available in various speeds starting from 50 megabits per second. Via partners, up to 100 gigabits per second. VPN, while cheaper, always traverses the public internet. Which tool provides a centralized view for monitoring the health of your global network across AWS and on-premises? Option A. AWS Network Manager. Option B. AWS Resource Access Manager. Option C. Amazon CloudWatch Network Monitor. Option D. AWS Config. The correct answer is A. AWS Network Manager, part of AWS Cloud WAN and Transit Gateway, provides a single dashboard to visualize and monitor your global network. It integrates with transit gateways and SD-WAN devices to provide performance metrics, topology diagrams, and health alerts for your entire hybrid network. When configuring a transit gateway, what does the appliance mode setting do? Option A. It increases the throughput of the transit gateway. Option B. It ensures flow symmetry by keeping traffic within the same availability zone for the life of the flow. Option C. It allows the transit gateway to act as a Layer 7 load balancer. Option D. It enables encryption for all VPC to VPC traffic. The correct answer is B. Appliance mode is used when you have a security appliance, like a firewall, in a separate VPC. It ensures that the transit gateway sends both the request and response traffic through the same any in the same availability zone, preventing asymmetric routing, which would cause stateful firewalls to drop the traffic. A company is using Route 53 Resolver to bridge DNS between on-premises and AWS. They want to ensure that queries for internal.example.com are sent to on-premises DNS servers. What should they configure? Option A. An inbound resolver endpoint. Option B. A private hosted zone with an NS record. Option C. An outbound resolver endpoint and a forwarding rule. Option D. A Route 53 resolver system rule. The correct answer is C. To send DNS queries from AWS to on-premises, you need an outbound resolver endpoint. You then create a forwarding rule for the specific domain, internal.example.com, that specifies the IP addresses of the on-premises DNS servers. Inbound endpoints are for the reverse direction, on-premises querying AWS. Which of the following is true regarding network ACLs, NACLs? Option A. They are stateful. Option B. They apply to the individual EC2 instances. Option C. They are processed in numbered order, starting with the lowest number. Option D. They can filter traffic by FQDN. The correct answer is C. Network ACLs, NACLs, are stateless and act as a firewall for the entire subnet. They process rules in numerical order: 100, 200, 300, Because they are stateless, you must explicitly allow both inbound and outbound traffic for a connection to work. Your company needs to connect two VPCs in different regions. The traffic volume is very high, and you want to minimize costs and latency. Which is the best solution? Option A. AWS Transit Gateway with inter-region peering. Option B. Inter-region VPC peering. Option C. AWS Site-to-Site VPN. Option D. AWS Cloud WAN. The correct answer is B. Inter-region VPC peering is often the most cost-effective and lowest latency option for high-volume traffic between two specific VPCs. Unlike Transit Gateway, there are no hourly processing fees for the data transfer in VPC peering beyond the standard inter-region data transfer rates. Transit Gateway adds a per GB processing charge. You have a Direct Connect connection with a 1 gigabit per second capacity. You want to encrypt the traffic between your on-premises data center and your AWS VPC. How can you achieve this? Option A. Direct Connect is encrypted by default at Layer 2. Option B. Create a public VIF and establish an IPsec VPN over it. Option C. Create a private VIF and establish an IPsec VPN using the private VIF IPs. Option D. Enable MACsec on the Direct Connect port. The correct answer is D. For encryption on a Direct Connect link, you have two main options. IEEE 802.1 AE MACsec. Layer 2 encryption for 10 gigabits per second or 100 gigabits per second links, or running an IPsec VPN. Layer 3 over a private or public VIF. Since the question asks to encrypt the traffic and the link is 1 gigabit per second, MACsec is available on certain 1G, 10G, 100G dedicated connections. However, IPsec over private VIF is a more common architectural answer for VPN over DX. You want to perform a dry run of a network change to see if it will break connectivity. Which tool allows you to analyze path reachability without sending actual traffic? Option A. VPC Reachability Analyzer. Option B. VPC Flow Logs. Option C. AWS Firewall Manager. Option D. Amazon Inspector. The correct answer is A. VPC Reachability Analyzer is a configuration analysis tool that enables you to perform reachability analysis between two resources in your VPC. It uses automated reasoning to check the configuration, route tables, SGs, NACLs, etc., without sending any packets, making it perfect for verifying changes. What is the purpose of a Route 53 alias record compared to a CNAME record? Option A. Alias records are slower than CNAMEs. Option B. Alias records can be used for the zone apex, e.g., example.com, whereas CNAMEs cannot. Option C. CNAME records are free, while alias records are charged per query. Option D. Alias records only work for external domain names. The correct answer is B. A major advantage of alias records is that they can be created for the zone apex. Naked domain like example.com. DNS standards do not allow a CNAME for the zone apex. Additionally, Route 53 does not charge for alias record queries if they point to AWS resources like ELBs or S3 buckets. A security audit requires that all data in transit between VPCs in the same region must be encrypted. Which AWS feature provides this automatically without manual configuration? Option A. AWS Site-to-Site VPN. Option B. Traffic mirroring. Option C. Encryption in transit between supported Nitro-based instances. Option D. VPC peering encryption. The correct answer is C. AWS automatically encrypts traffic between supported Nitro-based instance types when they communicate within the same VPC or peered VPCs in the same region. This is done at the physical network layer and does not require manual setup of VPNs or certificates. How many BGP sessions are established in a single AWS site-to-site VPN connection? Option A, 1. Option B, 2. Option C, 4. Option D, variable based on throughput. The correct answer is B. An AWS site-to-site VPN consists of 2 tunnels for high availability. Each tunnel has its own outside IP address and its own BGP session. AWS recommends using both tunnels to ensure connectivity during AWS maintenance events. You have multiple VPCs across many accounts and regions. You want to manage global connectivity and security policies through a single central dashboard. Which service is best suited for this? Option A. AWS Transit Gateway. Option B. AWS Cloud WAN. Option C. AWS Organization. Option D. VPC Lattice. The correct answer is B. AWS Cloud WAN is a managed wide area network WAN service. It allows you to build, manage, and monitor a global network that connects your resources across AWS regions and on-premises locations using a core network policy to define your routing and security intent. Which service protects your applications from DDoS attacks and is available at no additional charge for all AWS customers? Option A. AWS Shield Standard. Option B. AWS Shield Advanced. Option C. AWS WAF. Option D. AWS Firewall Manager. The correct answer is A. AWS Shield Standard provides automatic protection against common Layer 3 and 4 DDoS attacks, like SYN floods or reflection attacks. It is automatically enabled for all AWS customers at no extra cost. Shield Advanced is a paid tier with more features. What happens if you advertise a CIDR block from on-premises to AWS via BGP that is exactly the same as the VPC CIDR? Option A. BGP will prefer the on-premises route. Option B. The VPC will stop functioning. Option C. The local VPC route always takes precedence over the propagated BGP route. Option D. Traffic will be load balanced between the VPC and on-premises. The correct answer is C. In an AWS route table, the local route, the VPC's own CIDR, is always the most preferred and cannot be overridden by any propagated or static route. If you advertise the same CIDR via BGP, the VPC will continue to route internal traffic locally, and the external advertisement will likely be ignored or cause routing loops elsewhere. You are designing a solution for an application that requires a static IP address that can be reached from the internet, but the underlying EC2 instances might change. Which AWS feature provides this? Option A. Elastic IP address. Option B. Secondary private IP. Option C. Public IP address. Option D. IPv6 address. The correct answer is A. An elastic IP address is a static, public IPv4 address designed for dynamic cloud computing. You can associate it with an instance, and if that instance fails, you can rapidly remap the address to another instance in your account, ensuring the endpoint remains the same for your users. That's it for our 30-question mock exam. How did you do? If you found some of these networking concepts challenging, don't worry. The specialty exam is meant to be a deep dive. For more practice and a much larger pool of questions with even more detailed scenarios, click the link in the description to access our full AWS Certified Advanced Networking Specialty mock exam course on Udemy. For the full 6-set mock exam series, check the link in the description below.